The mirror's reflection. Sarah Hawthorne received a grand estate from a distant relative she barely knew. The mansion, filled with dust and shadows, was hers to explore and claim. As Sarah wandered through the Victorian mansion, she stumbled upon an ornate antique mirror hidden in the dusty attic. Its frame was intricate, dark, and foreboding. Curious, Sarah brushed off the dust, revealing a mirror that seemed to draw her in. Its surface shimmered with an unsettling allure, promising mysteries and secrets. Margaret, Sarah's loyal maid, warned her about the mirror. The old servant spoke in hushed tones of its dark past and the curses it had supposedly brought upon its owners. Ignoring Margaret's warnings, Sarah began spending more time in front of the mirror. She found herself entranced by the way it seemed to capture her every emotion. As days went by, Sarah noticed disturbing changes in the mirror's reflection. Her image would sometimes distort, showing dark and sinister versions of herself. The mansion, once welcoming, began to feel oppressive. Strange noises echoed through the hallways, and shadows danced menacingly in the corners of Sarah's vision. One night, Sarah awoke to see a shadowy figure in the mirror's reflection. The figure seemed to reach out towards her, its presence chilling her to the bone. Disturbed, Sarah tried to ignore the vision, attributing it to her overactive imagination. However, the mirror's haunting allure only grew stronger. Margaret noticed Sarah's increasing obsession and tried to intervene. She begged Sarah to leave the mirror alone, but her pleas were met with anger and denial. Sarah began experiencing vivid nightmares. In these dreams, the mirror showed her scenes of death and despair, blurring the line between reality and nightmare. Desperate to understand the mirror's power, Sarah researched its origins. She uncovered stories of madness and death linked to previous owners of the cursed object. Each story detailed a descent into insanity, driven by the mirror's malevolent influence. Sarah couldn't help but feel drawn to the mirror, despite the warnings. One evening, Sarah invited Professor Henry West, a renowned paranormal investigator, to help unravel the mirror's mysteries. His skepticism only fueled her obsession. Professor West, intrigued by the mirror's dark history, agreed to help Sarah. He brought with him a range of equipment to detect supernatural activity. As Professor West examined the mirror, he found it radiating an unusual energy. He was both fascinated and concerned by its power, sensing an ominous presence. Sarah's behavior grew increasingly erratic. She would spend hours in front of the mirror, talking to her reflection as if it were a separate entity. Margaret grew more worried, seeing the toll the mirror was taking on Sarah's mental state. She pleaded with Sarah to leave the mansion, but her concerns were ignored. The mirror's influence seemed to grow stronger with each passing day. Sarah's reflection began to take on a life of its own, taunting and tormenting her. Professor West conducted a thorough investigation of the mansion's history. He discovered that the mirror was crafted by Elijah Blackwood, an artist who went mad. Blackwood's art was known for its eerie and unsettling nature, and he was rumored to have created the mirror as a portal to another realm. His end was tragic and violent. As Sarah learned about Blackwood, she felt a deepening connection to the mirror. She began to believe that understanding its creator might unlock its secrets. The mirror's reflection began to show more than just distorted images. Sarah saw scenes of past tragedies and glimpses of people who had died in the mansion. Professor West and Sarah decided to conduct a séance to communicate with any spirits trapped within the mirror. They hoped to learn more about its dark power. During the séance, the room grew icy cold, and shadows swirled around them. A ghostly figure appeared in the mirror, its eyes filled with sorrow and rage. The spirit revealed itself as one of the mirror's victims, pleading for release from its eternal torment. Sarah was overwhelmed by the spirit's anguish and fear. The mirror's grip on Sarah tightened. She began seeing apparitions around the mansion, each one more terrifying than the last. Her sense of reality began to fray. Margaret, seeing no other way to help Sarah, sought out the assistance of a local historian. They hoped to uncover more about the mirror's origins and its curses. The historian revealed that the mirror was cursed by Blackwood himself, who had intended to trap his own soul within it to escape his own madness. As Sarah delved deeper into the mirror's history, she uncovered a hidden journal belonging to Blackwood. It detailed his descent into madness and the mirror's dark power. The journal described how the mirror preyed on the darkest fears and desires of its victims, slowly driving them to madness before claiming their lives. With Professor West's guidance, Sarah devised a plan to confront the malevolent spirit trapped within the mirror. They hoped to break its hold over her. On a stormy night, Sarah and Professor West performed a ritual to banish the spirit from the mirror. The mansion seemed to come alive with dark energy and foreboding. As they chanted ancient incantations, the mirror's surface rippled, showing scenes of the past owner's torment and despair. The air crackled with supernatural energy. The spirit within the mirror grew agitated, its presence becoming more violent. It tried to pull Sarah into the mirror, threatening to trap her forever. With great effort, Sarah and Professor West completed the ritual. The mirror's surface shattered, and a blinding light filled the room, dispelling the darkness. The mirror's curse was broken, and the malevolent spirit was freed from its prison. The mansion, once oppressive, now felt lighter and more welcoming. Sarah, exhausted but relieved, looked at the remnants of the shattered mirror. She felt a sense of closure and liberation from the nightmare that had haunted her. Margaret, who had been anxiously waiting, rushed to Sarah's side. She expressed her joy and relief that the curse had been lifted, and Sarah was finally free. Professor West, though still skeptical, acknowledged the power of the mirror's influence. He vowed to continue his work investigating haunted objects and their effects. The mansion, now rid of its dark influence, was restored to its former glory. Sarah decided to open it to the public, sharing its history and helping others understand its past. The story of the haunted mirror became a local legend, and Sarah's experience served as a cautionary tale about the dangers of vanity and obsession. Sarah and Margaret continued to live in the mansion, their lives gradually returning to normal. They found solace in their shared experiences and the mansion's new purpose. The mansion's grand rooms, once filled with fear, now echoed with laughter and warmth. Sarah felt a renewed sense of hope and resilience after her ordeal. Professor West occasionally visited the mansion, sharing his findings and keeping in touch with Sarah. They remained friends, united by their shared adventure. The broken pieces of the mirror were carefully preserved as a reminder of the dark history they had faced. They served as a symbol of the battles fought and won. Elijah Blackwood's story was remembered, but his mirror's curse became a lesson in overcoming fear and confronting one's deepest anxieties. The mansion became a place of reflection and learning, where people came to understand the nature of fear and the strength required to overcome it. Sarah, now a prominent figure in the community, used her experiences to help others. She shared her story, teaching about the dangers of obsession and vanity. Margaret continued to be a loyal and supportive friend, her presence a comforting constant in Sarah's life. Together, they found joy in their new beginning. The mirror's curse, though broken, left a lasting impact on those who encountered it. It became a reminder of the thin line between reality and the supernatural. Sarah's bravery and determination inspired many. Her story was a testament to the power of confronting one's fears and the importance of seeking help when needed. As the years passed, the mansion's dark past faded into history. It became a symbol of hope and resilience, a place where people came to find strength and solace. Sarah and Professor West's collaboration led to a greater understanding of paranormal phenomena. Their work contributed to the field of supernatural investigation. The haunted mirror's tale became a legend, passed down through generations. It served as a reminder of the dangers of vanity and the importance of inner strength. Sarah's legacy lived on in the mansion's transformation. It became a beacon of light, showing that even the darkest of places could be redeemed with courage and perseverance. The mansion's grand halls, now filled with light and laughter, stood as a testament to the triumph over fear. Sarah and Margaret's bond remained unbreakable. Professor West continued his research, inspired by Sarah's bravery. He sought to uncover and understand more about the supernatural, driven by the mystery of the mirror. The story of the mirror's reflection became a cherished part of local lore, a reminder of the journey through darkness and the enduring power of hope and redemption.